As if we haven't been let down enough and betrayed enough by our wonderful political class. The Senate bill finally comes out, and it's a flop as always. It builds up everything that you as Americans think that is crazy. It also doesn't do anything hardly for the border. It's our own country. The quote-unquote border bill is one of the less funded things in the actual bill. I'm telling you, I believe every senator and congressman should just be fired, sent home, term limits, and let's find all new ones. Let's jump into it. Today's video is about this crazy border bill. Sometimes I lose hope for our politicians. Let's jump into it. Today's video starts right now.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. That does help us stay in the algorithm here on this platform, and it does help us spread our message across YouTube. We thank you so very much. We humbly thank you for being here today. Now let's talk a little bit about this Senate bill. I know it's going to be dead on arrival in the House, and this is another thing I cannot stand with political games. The House is going to pass something that the Senate knows they're not going to pass. The Senate will pass something they know the House is not going to pass. The House will pass something the Senate may have negotiation, but Biden's already said he's going to not sign it. This political game, all it is a complete farce. It's all fake. It's all enough to make you believe that they're going to win for you. And actually, all they're doing is fattening their own pockets and doing absolutely nothing for the American people. Let's jump into this bill so you can see what I'm talking about. It says, breaking, the U.S. Senate bill has just been released. $118 billion bipartisan bill. Now, the bipartisan part, a complete and utter flop. And it is a farce. I keep saying that because I want you to understand. When it says bipartisan, it's the people like McConnell. It's the people that's all these rhinos that's actually going to support this. Of this bill, let's go through it. Let's go through what it actually covers. And this is what blows your mind. Of this bill, break down $60 billion of our border bill. The money that we're funding, $60.06 billion is in support of Ukraine. We're going to just release $60 billion to Ukraine. That's not going to weapons. That's not going to truly win the war. It's going to launder back in Ukraine. $14.1 billion to Israel. $2.4 billion in support of the U.S. Central Command, meaning more money towards the Red Sea issue that's happening right now. $10 billion in humanitarian assistance, such as food, water, shelter for the Gaza, West Bank, and all the other places that are struggling with getting food, even in Ukraine. $4.83 billion to support a key regional partner in the Indo-Pacific. It's actually an aggravation to the Chinese government. $2.3 billion in support of Ukrainians. That's even more than the $60 billion, and also the humanitarian amount. $20.3 billion to address existing operational needs and expand capabilities of our nation's borders. That's where, of this $118 billion bill, there's going to be a $20 billion total. And it does not say it's for the border. It does not say it's going to actually implement a true border fence. It's saying it's going to take and put new resources to new border policies. It's all a flop. $400 million is to the security grant program. Nobody even knows what that is. It says it's enhance nonprofits and places of worship to make security enhancements. Again, why do we believe that our government has to step in every part of our way of life? I mean, if this is for houses of worship, is that meaning that you're putting your government in granting and subsidizing coverage for churches, for synagogues, for mosques, or whatever? What it does mean is if you're taking government funds, that allows them to have a little bit more control. So $118 billion, $20 billion towards some kind of border policy. Before we go any further, here's a word from the sponsor of the day. The sponsor of today's video is Opus Solar. If someone needs a power station in your life, someone needs a power station to be off-grid, someone needs a power station to go camping, to be on the road with, to know that you've got some energy built up, a backup battery system, or if you're building an off-grid cabin and you're just needing a fine, awesome system that's going to save you money, but also is plug and play. So it makes it very easy for the people like us who can't understand all the parts of building their own solar backup. Opus will be the company for you. There are so many brands when it comes to solar stations, battery backups, and off-grid options. The one thing I like about Opus is it tends to save you money. Also, Opus has a phenomenal customer service. I've used them. Sometimes I'm just dumb and don't understand this stuff, so I'll call them, check it out, get the questions answered that I need answered. The one good thing is you can buy systems at Opus and then add to them, so you're not breaking the bank. Right now, Opus has a sale going from the 5th to the 7th. It's their Valentine's Day sale. So if you're looking to save some money and buy a battery bank for 2024 and maybe some tough times, remember our grid is failing, remember storms come, remember gas is going to be harder to get and it costs a lot, having a battery bank and a solar generator is going to be a game changer, and especially for the ones who live in towns who can't have a propane generator, who can't have the loudness of a gas generator. These solar battery banks are perfect for you. So take advantage of this. For 3 days during this sale, you can save up to $2,000 on several of their battery banks and power stations. The Mega 2 is a promotional at $1,039. The Mega 3's promotion is $1,599. I actually have the Mega 3, love it. The Mega 5's promotional is $23.99. So you see there's some major discounts. That's $500 to $2,000 off most of the retail pricing. Don't miss this sale. I think you will love this system. I have several other versions. I have a lot of different battery banks. And so far, the easy, user-friendly option and the most economical has been Opus Solar. Check them out below. And as a prepper and as someone who wants to live sustainable, this gives you just that peace of mind to know, you know, if the power goes out, I still got energy. Check them out. I know we just went over that integration with Opus and we're going to get back to the story, but I want to mention something about Opus in just a few minutes at the very end of the video. They have something that can help you that's completely free. And it's a wonderful program that they're doing, and that's why I'm glad to be partnered with them. But I want to tell you a little bit about that at the very end. Now let's jump back into the border bill. The problem I have with this, again, we should have single origin spending bills. We should say, okay, we're going to do a bill for whatever this project is, and that's it. And see how people vote. What we're going to have, though, is you're going to have now the Republicans push against this, which they should. I believe anybody in their right mind should push against this. Here's how the mainstream media and the Democrats are going to spin it. They're going to say, well, here is a border bill, a fully funded border bill, way more than what Trump wanted. And the Republicans won't pass it. They just want chaos. Well, what's happening is they put it with all this other crap. So basically, of $118 billion, $100 billion is not spent on the border. I mean, think about that. Our border bill, this is how they name it, the border bill, and $100 million of it is not even going to our border. This is the farce that I get so mad at when it comes to politicians. And the thing is, you hear Republicans on the conservative side, they're like, man, we would never support this. We would never support this. However, the rank and file, the upper echelon of this established Republican group is going all in for it. You watch, man, McConnell will be all over it, and so will half of the other people that's right next to him that's in the very top of that class, because they see the money and the laundering that's going to come back. They don't care about the border. They don't care about the situation going on. It's going to be money that's going to be funneled back to them from laundering situations in Ukraine. If you look at this, the Pentagon has failed audits. The defense spending has lost millions and billions of dollars. Oh, how did they lose billions of dollars? Isn't it amazing? If you misplace a little bit of money, the government finds it, you're audited and they'll throw you in jail. But the government can misplace all these billions of dollars. And then on top of that, there's no inspector general. There's no one looking at where the money goes when it hits the Ukraine shores. Do you realize that Ukraine is now, we call them a democracy? It's funny to me. They've taken away the right to vote. They've taken they've taken the right of free speech away. They're imprisoning journalists. So we're supporting that. And you know why? Because the mainstream media keeps saying it's a democracy. Your politicians keep saying it's a democracy. It's actually just another evil, just like Russia is another evil to us. Just like Iran is another evil to us. It's just the way that the politicians can make money back while they're allowing illegals to flood your border. So this will have Democrat support, this will have Biden support, and this will have Rhino support. So it's going to make it look really bad on the conservatives, the real conservatives of the party, and the whole purpose is going to say, well, look, we can't, Mike Johnson's failing because he can't get his conservative wing, the right-wingers, to buy into it. Because nobody wants to fund these wars. We're funding basically money in Taiwan. We're funding money in, of course, Ukraine in a failing war. We're giving money to humanitarian. Look, I have no problem giving money to giving people food and water. That is not a problem with me, I'll be honest with you. Even though I'm a libertarian, even though I believe in conservative fiscal policy, I don't want to see people starve. I don't want to see people hurt. So I believe we can utilize money in the good ways. But laundering money for politicians to be ultra rich is not the way that we need to do it. I love what Elon Musk said. He said, Musk reveals Biden's intentional border invasion is to create a one-party state. It's always been the plan. Flood the border, make it cause a problem, give amnesty or give legal passage for a lot of them, change the whole politic and the nature of America, and therefore you are always going to have a left-leaning society to print fake money, to make all these wars, to fatten all these people's pockets, and ultimately cause problems for the everyday American. Another thing this bill does, and we're wrapping it up, I mean, because I don't want to beat it at a horse when I tell you how bad this bill is. This bill still allows for 1.5 million illegals to enter the U.S. every year. It still allows the NGOs, the non-government bodies, the three-letter agencies to decide who of the 1.5 gets in. So if we're still infiltrating our country with illegals, not doing true citizenships, true pathway to citizenships, the correct way, the way it's already wrote in our Constitution and in our laws, we're just allowing illegals to flock in. What's going to happen is still that same one-party state where we're changing the political narrative forever. And rhinos and Democrats alike, the one-party state, the uniparty, is loving this, and it is literally playing right in their hand. Now, for the conservatives, you need to quit just talking on podcasts. You need to quit just talking and grandstanding in the Congress halls because it's all bull. You need to actually get out there and do something. And just by yapping your mouth and going through all these trials like Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz, you guys are awesome. Thomas Massey, you're awesome. Those guys are great. But you got to do more than what you're doing. If you're elected to do these jobs, Mike Johnson, then actually do something. Don't just get in grandstand. All they like to do is grandstand. Until we find someone who just doesn't want to be a politician anymore and wants to fight for the people, I think all we're going to get is grandstanding, rallies, and ultimately we're going to get crap like this shoved down our throats. And that's not what I want. All right, we're wrapping up. I want you to go check out Opus Solar. I want to mention them because they are doing some deals, especially for people who use the link below. Now, one more thing I want you to look at for this company. This company does what they call Opus Help. For anyone who cannot afford a solar power station, they help people out. They have assistance programs, and you have to apply for it. There's a link below, not only to the Opus power stations, but there's a link to Opus Help. I think it's a phenomenal program, and they want to give free Opus power stations away to people who are really in need. I think that's a great thing. So check out that link below. Again, remember, they are doing thousands of dollars of savings, and I think that you'll be really pleased with that power station. Remember, guys, stay vigilant, stay awake. Like I said on that shirt yesterday, awaken, not woke. We are seeing our political class lead us completely astray, and we are being betrayed by actually what this quote-unquote border bill is. Don't let them negotiate too. Republicans will get in there and they'll negotiate and try to play hardball and ultimately still lose because they're terrible at negotiations. We need true leadership and not this political class. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.